Hey guys, VaulSC here, how you going? We're going to take a look at a game of infiNity between the Shasvastii sectorial and the old classic YuJing vanilla. And it's going to be yet another game on Frostbyte. My buddy Garth still hasn't played on it yet, so this will be the third bat rep in a row on this channel of Frostbyte. Good mission, so don't mind playing this one over and over. It's really cool. Also, today's game, we went to the local gaming store and saw that the 40k players had actually put out this mat here, which they weren't using, so finally get to play on a bit of a different battle mat. I'm a huge fan of battle mats. I wish I owned a million of them because they really enhance the gameplay experience in my view. So we get to play on this one here. Alright, so we're looking at the table from the side on. There are the three consoles in the middle which you can go and put your finger on to activate a heating unit. And then, of course, they've got heating units 1, 2, 3, and 4. Alright, so I have won the role for the lieutenant, and this list is my Shasvastii beta list. There was a tournament I played in a while back where there was one list that had Shishkin and 3 Noctifers in it, and that was the main list that I played. And then there was the secondary backup list, which had the Sphinx, 2 Noctifers, and a bunch of peripheral stuff. And I only got to play that list once, and I've been really keen to get it on the field again, so that's the one I'm playing right now. So my thinking in picking tableside and deploying second is that this list is extremely strong regardless of whether it goes first or second. If my opponent goes for second turn, I've got 10 orders on a Sphinx to just charge across there, eliminate his data tracker probably pretty easily, and then shred up a few other peripheral units, and maybe even just hide the Sphinx again at the end of that. So that's going to be devastating if I get the chance to go first. If I have to go second, well, I've got a Sphinx, a Malignos, and 2 Noctifers in hidden deployment, so he doesn't really know which angle he's going to get shot at as he comes across the board. I'm going to be able to defend very, very well. So that was the thinking. My opponent has opted to go for first turn, and I think his strategy is that if he can be the first player to start pressing buttons and choose which heating units to turn on, it might make it more difficult for me later on. So that's what his thinking was there. Okay, so from left to right, so YuJing setting up first. This is the left-hand flank for him, left-hand corner. He's got a flash pulse spot, a couple of Guangxi here, and his Zanshi hacker there, ready to put assisted fire onto his Rushi. There's a Karakot over here, which picks up the +1 armor. And this is a camo model, which I'm lending to him. Actually, one of my normal markers that I use, just lending it to him because he's forgotten his camo markers, which is a Guilang Forward Observer. Through to the middle, he's got a lieutenant here, a Yanhuo HRMC with the conversion, so he swung it from his back and just underslung the HRMC there. And there's a Guangxi control device behind him. And on the right-hand flank, we have, that was the Guangxi control device we just looked at. There's another couple of Guangxi around here. There's the Rushi on the right-hand side. We've got a Warcore and a Shaolin Monk. Just the one Shaolin Monk. He was a bit tight for points. Couldn't afford the second one, or the third one, or the fourth one. So here's a central view of his Guilang, his Karakot, and his HVT. Oh, excuse me. Alright, so my first hidden deployment model is a Malignos. We'll point out whether it is later. Malignos Assault Hacker, just covering the left-hand flank, because he might be bringing through his Rushi down this side, and that'll allow me to maybe hit it with an Oblivion. Although I realized later that if I do that, then I might actually be susceptible to a killer hacker through his repeater if I don't knock it out straight away. Okay, so Shasvastii deployment. We're now looking at the deployment zone. This is the location where I just put the Malignos. Okay, so that's where it is, prone up in that corner of the building. There's going to be a Noctifer missile launcher here, and another one over here. We're also going to be, I'm just going to move my face over like this. There's also going to be a Sphinx away on the left-hand flank, but that's going to be in hidden deployment later. Let me just change colors for a moment. Take some green. So there's an Icadron, Dr. Worm. This is the Asswang Lieutenant. Bit and Kiss over here, so there's Bit and there's Kiss. And we've got an Icadron way over the right-hand side, and there's also going to be another, I should point in this direction. You get my finger out here. There's going to be a flash pulse spot over there. Nice and easy to deploy when hardly any of your models are on the table. So here's the right-hand flank. There was so this model actually hasn't been placed on the table yet, but there's Bit and Kiss there. There's the Echadron. We've got the Asswang Lieutenant up the top, and there's going to be a Noctifer just covering this long lane through here, right? So taking photos of my head in deployment, this is the Noctifer on the right, this is the Noctifer on the left, just barely getting a line sliced across past this obstacle here, but very carefully positioning him so that once he's revealed, he can't be shot at from the Yanhuo, because that 5 dice probably would be enough to destroy my Noctifer. His reserve model is the Sujian Battle Cat, right next to the Rushi. My reserve model, seeing that, is the Sphinx itself. So I'm feeling that if he does move his he does move his cat over the building, the Sphinx can start shooting back at it, and if it comes out of cover, the Sphinx is hitting on a 17, the cat is hitting on an 8 with 4 dice, so it's going to be pretty easy to stave it off. And if the cat does get any hits through, well, the Sphinx is going to be armor 6 plus cover, 3 wounds. It's probably going to be able to survive. There is a doctor nearby as well. So I'm feeling this is a good spot for it to be in, and it's also in a space where it can actually rush out and get some kills in my turn if I want. My data tracker is going to be Dr. Worm. Now, one big disadvantage of my list is I haven't really got a model which is appropriate for being the data tracker, so I'm just going to have to go with the Doctor since he's quite fast. My opponent choosing the Zhanshi as the data tracker, and this is the Zhanshi hacker way at the back of the table. And I think this is one big mistake, and I really would advise you guys against doing this kind of thing. When you make your data tracker such an important role in this mission, when you make your data tracker a hacker, well, if your opponent's got a killer hacker, they just have to move within range of a repeater that belongs to you, or even worse, in the case of Bit and Kiss, fire a repeater with the pitcher across to where you are, and you're in a lot of trouble because you lose a valuable model, which costs some points, you lose your hacker, and more importantly, you lose your data tracker. So your opponent gets 2 points for that, and prevents you from getting the 3 points from putting your data tracker in the exclusion zone at the end. So I think this is a very bad mistake. So YuJing going first, we've just got some impetuous moves from the Guangxi, just moving generally towards this alleyway here, the guy on top of the walkway here rushing out as Guangxi want to do. On the right-hand side, Shaolin Monk going for the impetuous lobbing the smoke, fails the test, but as we'll see later, he uses his irregular order to pass it and get it down. And another Guangxi coming out from the right-hand side next to where the cat's situated. So Shaolin Monk trying it again, just pulling back to cover using his irregular order and throwing the smoke down successfully. We have a Krakot now moving out through the middle of the table with SMG, so he's going to be heading out towards here. I'm going to wait for him to spend a couple of regular orders before shooting the missile, but we will shoot it eventually. So he comes out into this open area spot right here. That's going to reveal the Noctifer on the left. Now, I'm choosing to reveal the Noctifer, which only has a very thin line of fire through that angle. I don't want to reveal any other hidden deployment model that might be shot at this point from his Yanhuo, because he's still got a lot of regular orders left. So the Noctifer unleashes the missile. It does hit the Krakot directly and blows him up. The Krakot, I think, rolls 3 dice, and one of them comes up as like a 13, which does pass the armor save because he's got natural armor 1+1 for the metachemistry. But because of the anti-tank nature of the missile halving armor, it just barely kills him, which is quite funny. Okay, so we've got the Krakot destroyed in the middle of the table, only unconscious, and then after that, a Guilang Fort Observer comes out around here, goes to press the button, and then moves over to this wall here, near to my lines. So this does reveal the Guilang Fort Observer. He does successfully press the button to turn on the heating unit. That goes down, and then he comes through and puts down a mine right next to the wall. So my troop is over in this direction, the Krakot's destroyed, the Guilang is effectively walked around in this direction and laid this mine here, which is going to make it harder for Bit and Kiss to move out towards his data tracker to kill it, but I'll still be able to achieve that if I put my mind to it. His data tracker now putting down assisted fire onto his Rushi, since the Rushi has a built-in repeater, and then it's moving out as a result of a coordinated order. So he's coordinating the Rushi, I think the Battle Cat as well, and a couple of Guangxi to put them back into hiding after they've come out of position due to their impetuous moves. So the Rushi comes through the smoke all the way over to the spot here. Now, you guys know that I've got a Malignos Assault Hacker right here, so he comes in range of the Assault Hacker. Now, I messed up here by saying to my opponent, oh, I think I might actually activate my Assault Hacker here. I decided against that straight away and decided not to reveal him, but my opponent does now know that I am likely to have some sort of Assault Hacker nearby. I thought, okay, well, if I reveal the Assault Hacker now, it's going to be able to hit the Rushi with an Oblivion, get rid of its repeater, and that way his ninja can't spring out of hidden deployment and kill the Malignos. But then I thought more carefully about that, and I thought, well, maybe if I just leave the Rushi there, he's actually made a mistake by bringing him forward anyway. The Malignos won't be able to get attacked by the ninja if I don't reveal him. And there's a possibility if I go for an Oblivion now, I'll just screw it up and not even affect him, and the ninja will just kill me straight away. So I decided not to do that. The real importance of this situation is that instead of having Bit and Kiss move over towards his data tracker, they can now just cross the side of my deployment zone and get to his repeater and actually kill the data tracker that way. So I thought that would be the way to go. Yanhuo using the Lieutenant's order to go prone since he'd forgotten to do that earlier and just repositioning a little bit. And the Guilang going back into camo marker state, so you can see in the foreground of the photo, this is the actual Guilang here, and the one in the distance is actually a mine getting ready to, defend this area here. And of course, we've already secured this console. Okay. So there's a secondary Noctifer which does reveal at this point in response to, I think, one of his Guangxi doing a bit of a move here. And I decided to reveal the Noctifer now because I wanted to make sure that some of my hidden deployment models came out of hidden deployment so they could provide regular orders to the rest of my army. Because if you're playing Shasvastii and you leave all of your models in hidden deployment and it becomes your turn, you've got a tiny order pool, so you need to at least reveal some of them so that you've got some fuel. So he's firing off at a Guangxi, which is moving in the distance. His Guangxi was just trying to get to a better spot, fires off at it and blows it up with the explosive missile, of course, and we're done with it. Opponent now choosing to put a few models into suppression fire. Again, I thought about going for the Malignos, but just decided against it since I prefer the repeater remaining intact. This Rushi is in an awful position, by the way. He doesn't know that I've got a Sphinx, but even though he doesn't know that, he's just giving me a repeater. He's giving me a chance to just go and attack it with whatever I've got. So I would really advise you guys not to move your Rushi in the middle of the table. Just leave it there without getting any kills. Just keep it at home. It's way safer at home. He's also just moving his... what do you call this guy? The Guangxi control device, Celestial Guard, just so it can see a little bit of an angle. And I think he's doing this so that he can provide a smoke, grenade as an arrow if I come all the way around the flank and just puts the Rushi inside of the smoke. Okay, so finally Shasvastii turn. Bit and Kiss just giving up their positions, starting here and over here respectively, and just moving out in this direction. And this is so that they can walk towards the position of the Rushi. So you can already see what's going to be happening there. Eventually, they move over to the left-hand flank, just in this little planter situation. We've got the Rushi over here, and the zone of control around it is around here, so the Bit and Kiss are going to be in range. Having thought about this a bit more, I think maybe the safer play would have been to have moved them through the middle of the table and fired a pitcher at the data tracker and killed them that way, because then it would be my repeater, not his repeater, which he's having to go through, and he'd suffer the firewall penalties. So quite an important interaction here is that as soon as Bit moves into range of the Rushi's repeater, the enemy data tracker Zanshi hacker gets an arrow and will probably try and brain blast against Bit and Kiss. Bit has Maestro, so that's extremely powerful way to get rid of him. The problem is that there's going to be a ninja coming out of hidden deployment as well. So my opponent can take one of two different options. He can just defend with the data tracker and just give up the data tracker and keep his ninja alive, or he can reveal the ninja now and force me to either split my burst between the data tracker and the ninja, and potentially, I could fail to kill both of them, or he could put me in a situation where I actually have to commit to killing the data tracker. I need to, get the objective points. They're so important, and then his ninja gets a kill on Bit and Kiss for free. So I think the correct move, and the move that he ended up going for, was to indeed reveal the ninja. It gives me an opportunity to actually kill both of them one fell swoop. But this is a very important moment in the game where the variants can swing it. You know, I can just lose my model here and all the orders I spent getting there. I could kill both of his models. I could kill one of them. So there's a lot that can happen. Now, for some stupid reason, maybe because I haven't played Bit and Kiss in a little while, I momentarily forgot that Bit actually has Maestro, which was a really dumb thing to forget. I ended up using a red rum when I should have used a Maestro. I'm just hitting myself now for not thinking that at the time. Sometimes we all have, mental blanks, but what ends up happening here is that Bit does go after the data tracker with one dice and kills him, mission accomplished, and then does go up against the ninja with one dice and loses and dies against the ninja. So he's revealed his ninja now, and he's lost his data tracker, so that's generally a very, very good outcome. Just coming back to the move that I could have pulled, and I just want to open a different photo here. I'm just going to go back to the original photo of the deployment zone. So if I can just get out the pen, Bit is starting at this position here, and his data tracker is over here, right? So if Bit does move around, say, to this spot, and then fires a picture at that point there, that would be able to kill the data tracker. The only problem with that is that he's got a Guilang set up here, which would have an interaction with Bit before she gets there. And his ninja is actually positioned here anyway. So the ninja with, obviously, its zone of control around here probably would have been in range of the repeater anyway. So I'm actually quite glad that I went instead around this direction over to that spot there, the Rushi being here, and just went through the repeater that way, if you guys can follow all of that. Let's get back to where we were. Okay. All right, so that's the position of his ninja, just sticking out there next to the HVT. Can't believe that I forgot about Maestro. Really stupid novice thing to do. Okay, so now that we've used the repeater, the Sphinx, which started here, moves out to this spot, and he's going to set up right next to the corpse of Bit. And the really cool thing about the Sphinx is it's got climbing plus. So after that, he can then move to this exact spot here where he's got a silhouette there, and then climb up the wall so his silhouette's around about there, and it's going to get him line of sight to the Rishi, just on a bit of a downward angle. And the thing is that he can use stealth until he gets there, and when the Sphinx is just hovering on this wall, the Rishi is getting shot in the back. It's not going to benefit from MSV. It's not going to benefit from MSV2. It's not going to benefit from suppression fire. It's just going to die. So really terrible positioning for the Rushi. The Sphinx carves it up with the Spitfire really easily, and we're done. While that was happening, the Shaolin Monk threw a smoke grenade, and the Warcore attempt to fire its flash pulse, I should say. The smoke went down. The Sphinx managed to survive the flash pulse. So he continues to climb up a bit further and fires his Spitfire over there at these guys. Does manage to kill, I think, the Warcore, but not the Shaolin Monk, who passes a critical smoke grenade, and then the Sphinx comes back down to safety. So just picking off a few annoying little plebs, and here it comes, Alien Queen representing the Sphinx, just coming back down and going back to its original hiding space. We've also used a coordinated order to reposition the Noctifers. So one of them is way back here, and the other one is way back here. And they no longer have cover, but the point is that they are further back, and they are positioned in ways where the Yan Ho can't just come around a corner and shoot them. And he doesn't really have anything left in his army which can really contest them. If he really wants to, he could move his Sujian to a point where he could see them. He won't be up against cover, but he'll be -9 from range and TO camo, and the chances of him taking an anti-armor missile to the face is quite high. So that really locks down the Sujian and prevents him from coming my way. So that's why I've done that with my two Noctifer missile launchers. So here you can see the back setup. The Sphinx is back at home. And look, both of these guys just covering the left-hand flank angle quite nicely. Just being able to shoot at anybody coming around the corner, whether that be a Shaolin Monk or a Sujian or what. Okay, so YuJing turn 2, Guangxi continuing to move impetuously through the top of the roof here. Shaolin Monk moving out as well, going to come towards the wreckage of the Rushi. Other Guangxis following close behind him back over here. On the right-hand side, he's now going to go to work with his Guilung. So the Guilung just moving out around here. He's going to be placing mines in spots where he can move around, and as he comes through to activate my models and engage with them, mines are going to go off and kill my miniatures as that happens. So first of all, he's just putting his finger on the table to show where the camera marker is moving to, just coming into line of sight of the Echidron and popping back out. Echidron, no match for a Guilung in camo marker state with MSV1 and its combi rifle and all that fun stuff. So the Echidron is destroyed. Then he moves up with the Guilung, of course, and places a mine here in a position where it can shoot at the flashball spot as he rounds the corner to do that. So again, trying to go for a flash pulse, but no match for the Guilung again with its MSV to ignore my mimetism, and the flash pulse R-drone is destroyed as well. And finally, just coming around to a spot where he can have a go at the Noctifer. He was thinking about going this way initially, but then changes his mind and comes back around the other corner to fire at the Noctifer here, and we'll be able to remove that as well. So that's going to be 3 orders going down. He does it by putting down a mine first, then coming around and shooting me. The Noctifer does manage to dodge the mine, but not all of the bullets, and does go dogged, so he will die at the end of the turn. So quite successful there. He's also repositioning his Celestial Guard at the back here, going prone in the safety of the very nice and warm heating unit, which has been turned on from earlier in the game. Yanhuo also trying to reposition himself a little bit as well. Cool. And you can see the Guangxi and the Shaolin Monk moving up. Shaolin Monk just getting out in position behind these yellow boxes in the middle. Okay, so it's my second turn here for Shasvastii. And this is the one point in the game where I really, really throw the game and make a severe mistake. I decided to reveal my Malignos Assault Hacker at long last in marker state, and I decided to move down and try and go and press the button, because I need to actually warm up one of the heating lamps at this point, otherwise my whole army is going to die except the Sphinx. So it's not ideal. So moving down the stairs, and then after I'd spent a couple of orders here, I started to realize, well, hang on a sec, he's got a ninja nearby. I'm going to have to go back into Teo Camo state. He's also got line of sight with his Yanhuo now through here, so I don't really want to be up against a Yanhuo, and I've only got like 4 or 5 orders to do this turn with, and I may not have time to go and press the button and retreat somewhere. So I decided to effectively stop there. There's a Sphinx which has, I think, moved to a better position to shoot at this Guangxi up here and this Guangxi over here. So I've spent a couple of orders using the Sphinx just to clear up the Guangxi. And the plan was, if I can kill these Guangxi, there'd be a couple of orders left at the end to move the Malignos out and actually press the button and secure the heating unit. But it took a whole bunch of orders to remove the Guangxi, because I've got to do 2 wounds from them before they are removed from the table because of dogged. So I kind of spread myself a bit thin and realized that the Malignos was never going to make it. So you can see the Malignos over here being helped up by coordinated orders, but the Doctor also has to face the same problem. Doctor's trying to move over here and revive Bit and get to a better spot where it can get into the exclusion zone at the end of the game. The Doctor actually has to spend a cautious move getting across this little street, because there's a line of sight arrow from the Yanhuo. So really kind of made a mess of this turn. The Doctor Worm eventually gets over there, does revive Bit thanks to a command token being spent after failing the first roll, but the plan is just to ensconce the Doctor behind the wall, prone here in the cover of these planters, just because next turn I just need to survive and then get him into the middle of the table in exclusion zone, and I win outright. But the problem is that I've wasted a couple of orders, and I've moved the Malignos further down the stairs unnecessarily, just a complete waste of them, really. And the really foolish thing about this is that I've spent the whole turn doing different things that didn't necessarily need to be done, and now he's actually got a Shaolin Monk, which I've completely forgotten about, which started prone here. It uses its impetuous move to come over here and can now fire a chain rifle at my Doctor, who was just asking for it, really. If I just kept the Doctor in the position he was at the back, I might be fine, but now I have to contend with a chain rifle. It's just I was worried about the Guilung on my right flank, which was still alive, just coming after the Doctor. That's why I had to reposition it. But if I could just play this turn again, what I would have done is moved the Doctor over initially, and then charged the Sphinx up to kill the Shaolin Monk, and that would have really secured the location of the Doctor really, really well. and giving me the chance to win. But now, as it stands, I've got to deal with the chain rifle. So chain rifle comes in, the Dr. Worm fails to dodge, but passes the armor save. So I got a little bit lucky there. The data track is still not dead. Bit a lot got revived, just goes back straight down into the dust thanks to the chain rifle, and then the Shaolin monk dies because he's been shot at by a Noctifer missile launcher and a Sphinx. So the game's just taken a bit of an ugly turn. There's another Shaolin monk moving out around here, and I can't remember. Oh yeah, this is the ninja going back into Tio Camo state with its own order over there. And because I've revealed my Malignos unnecessarily, the ninja just comes out around the corner to this spot here, and then comes out behind the truck and is able to just eliminate my Malignos with a red rum. So just really, really stupid play here from this Malignos. I just feel so embarrassed by such an awful mistake, awful blunder really. So you can see the ninja just crunching this guy in the head. No more Malignos assault hacker, 40 points down the drain. And over here, finally, the gambit is played. It's the Tiger Soldier, making the most of the new Season 10 changes, able to just pick a spot without needing the big template to land in. So in he comes, lands there successfully. A bit of a Hail Mary jump, really. He could easily have failed that. I've got no, a hacker to hack the transport. But in comes the Tiger Soldier. Then he leans out, has a go at shooting the Doctor, and just wipes the Doctor out. So really successful jump. Would have been a little bit harder for him to do that if I had my Malignos just sitting there, just to blast him in the back with a combi rifle. So again, just the worst of all mistakes that Malignos play. If the Malignos had just been sitting there, I might have been able to get out of this alive and keep my data tracker alive. But now, as it stands, we've both killed each other's data trackers. We cannot get points from contesting the exclusion zone with data trackers now. And he's turned on a heating lamp, and I've got really no specialists left to turn on a heating lamp. So my only hope is to win the game by having more army points, but all of my units are going to die because of Frostbyte at the end of the game, except for the tag. So it looks like the game is lost. It's an easy win for him. Everybody else just repositioning a little bit. The two heavy infantry taking up different spots now, and they're going to go into suppression fire. Here they are going into suppression fire here. The Sujian actually staying back and will go prone, I think, before doing this. Or at least the Silhouette 5 might be obscured by the box. I can't quite remember. So here they are. Yep, he's prone as well. So that just puts it back to me. So I had a bit of a think at this point, and I thought, well, looks like I've lost the game because I have no specialists to speak of. I can't turn on a heating unit. All of my stuff's going to die. So what can I do to get a couple of objective points here? And then I thought to myself, well, hang on a second. Just hold the phone a minute. His Tiger Soldier is in my side of the board. It's going to die. The Guilong, that's on my side of the board. It's going to die. The Ninja, that's in the middle of the table. That's going to die as well because it's in the frostbitten area, right? There's no heat in those spots. The only part of the table that's benefiting from a heating unit is his deployment zone. So what has he got in this deployment zone? He's got a Yanhuo HRMC lieutenant. He's got a Sujian. He's got a Celestial Guard control device, and he's got like one Guangxi. Now the Sphinx is a tag, so it will survive due to the rule that says that tags aren't affected by the cold. And the Sphinx is worth like 105 points or something crazy. So if the Sphinx is worth 105 points or around about that, and he's got 2 heavy infantry and a couple of little guys, he's only ahead of me by about 20 or 30 points once you take in the freezing, right? If everything else dies except for that stuff, he's only about 20 or 30 points ahead. So with just 4 orders, if the Sphinx somehow moves across the other side of the table, and it's very, very fast, 6-6 speed, and kills one of his heavy infantry units, I'll actually win, because I'll end up with more army points than him, and it'll be 3 points to me, and just 1 point to him from having turned on one of the heating units. So looking at it, the Sujian can sustain 3 wounds, the Yanhuo can sustain 2 wounds. If I just target the Yanhuo and get 2 failed armor saves through with that Spitfire from the Sphinx, I'll actually win. So 4 orders to spend. The Sphinx has to spend 1 order getting in position. It can spend 1 order shooting at the Yanhuo because he's set up in suppression fire for some silly reason. Then 1 more order moving towards his deployment zone, and then a final order coming around the corner and maybe flamethrowing him. The chances of doing it aren't that bad at all. So the Sphinx, as you saw in this photo, moves into position with the first order. The second order sets him up specifically next to the staircase here, getting cover. The Yanhuo is in suppression fire over there, and has a very difficult decision to make as to whether that is 24 inches. So is it 24 inches? My opponent spent a bit of time thinking about it and then decided, well, I'm going to try for it. And we measured it, and it was exactly in range. But that's not even the hard part. The difficult part for him is that he's -3 for long range on suppression fire range bands, -3 for cover, -6 for TO camo. So at ballistic skill 14, he's on 3 dice on 2s. Whereas because it was within 24 inches, the Sphinx is at ballistic skill 14, +3 for range, -3 for cover, -3 for suppression fire. That's 4 dice on 11. So the chances of me getting several hits through are pretty good. And his armor's, what, 8? But it's got to beat damage 15. You've got Spitfire 14 +1 for fatality level 1. So the Sphinx rips into him. The Yanhuo misses all shots because he needs 2s. And the Sphinx gets a critical hit and 2 regular hits. He fells one of them, and game over. Yanhuo just dies. So it turns out to be a win for Shasvastii. Surprisingly, after that awful play, losing the data tracker and the Malignos being out of position, I thought I'd just really just thrown the game, but turned out to have been a win. Let's just quickly talk about what would have happened here if I don't kill him with that initial volley. So his second move would have to be, going 12 inches around here. He can actually get quite a long way. And then come up another 6 inches up here and probably still get line of sight to the Yanhuo. He has to either shoot back or dodge. If he shoots back, he gets hit by 2 heavy flamethrowers, which would stand a pretty good chance of killing him. Or if he dodges, well, it's just point blank Spitfire, which probably would kill him too. The only difficulty there is that the Sphinx has to survive a shot from the ninja's tactical bow and the shot from the flamethrower on the Tiger Soldier, which is actually hiding up the stairs here, which could kill him outright, but it's not really that likely. So the chances of me actually killing the Yanhuo during my turn weren't that bad. It was tight. I mean, it wasn't a sure thing, but it wasn't really like a long shot, if you feel me. So here's the position of the alien queen at the end relative to the Tiger Soldier prone on top of the stairs there. And just to pick up an extra point, given the way that the turn had gone, my lieutenant moving up here and shooting at the Tiger Soldier with his combi rifle, killing him. I did that because the Tiger Soldier is contesting my HVT, and that then allows the alien queen Sphinx to move towards his HVT and control that. Just since I completed the scenario with a couple of orders to spare, so that ends up being a 4-1 victory to Shasvastii unexpectedly. So my opponent played badly this game. I also played quite badly, but luckily Shasvastii managed to pull through with a few good dice rolls at the end. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Pretty tight bat rep. Really love the battle map, and as usual, we'll be coming back with some more bat reps probably next week.